me.
No one touched the cards yet. Thank you. Excuse me, Taylor. One of you is staying at the Marriott Inn tonight. One of you four is staying at the Marriott Inn. You can watch South Park and have nice AC and try to break these hundreds you've earned at the hotel snack machine. That's going to happen to one of you in less than an hour. The 4 cards, as I explained, ace, 2, 3, 4. Ace goes first, 4 goes last. Shinji, pick a card. And don't, just put your hand on it, pull it towards you, don't reveal it. Jimmy? TJ? Taylor?
Ah, fuck. Sorry, burned myself.
Flip your cards.
Oh!
I know, right?
Pale. Get on up. Whenever you're ready, Playboy.
Yes, sir. Christmas break. A festive time for friends and family, and displaying your love for them by paying out the ass for whatever new gizmo an algorithm told them to buy. Now, and of course, let's not forget there's no better way than to celebrate the birth of our Lord Christ than drinking yourself nearly to death and miraculously rising the next day. Now, my friends and I, freshly 21 and stuck at home, we pondered as to how to keep up with these Yuletide traditions. Then, with much deliberation, we came up with what better way than to go to the casino. Now, this thought made me shake even more than I usually do. To go to the casino, I don't know, just imagine just going to the casino. It's on par, you know, to lose money at the casino, but seeing me shake all around and asking these seasoned gamblers what good hand there is, and you know, that I might as well just be walking in with a shirt that says "Rob me." So, but thankfully, I am blessed with a gambling grandfather who whose digits are flattened by years of mashing buttons, and hands are stained with the suits of the cards that rarely ever leave his hands. So naturally, I go to my grandpa's for a visit to beg for any chance of me looking less like a fool than I already am. So, but when I ask him this, he sort of stiffens, becomes statuesque. His milky eyes, they go wide. He's looking at something, but whatever it is, it's not there. And his dry, wrinkled lips speak. When I was a police officer back in Detroit, 1967, down at Woodward Avenue, I was called for riot control. There was lines of police cars. I was there with my fellow officers. We had cold, hard guns in our hands, and the summer sun beat down on us. There was men 3 men of hose connected to fire hydrants leaking, eager to be released. And down their guns stared on a crowd, a black one. There were men, women, and even children. And they all had fire in their eyes. They all spoke with a chant. They all waved the same signs. Black liberation. All white, no rights. They were one. They were unison. Even amongst the crowd, there was white students around your age. Their voices spoke the same cadence. They carried the same signs. They might as well be the same. But through all this chanting, this righteous talk, a squeal rings through. Cease your discourse, or face the consequences. Still, the fire did not flicker in their eyes. They stayed strong. They didn't even move an inch. Now the officer who said that was right next to me. He said to me, "These have so much cotton in their ears they can't even hear sense." Then he puts his microphone up to his face again. "Prepare fire!" All in unison, you just hear a click, and just within a moment, an explosion. All the ones in front fell first. They fell to the hard asphalt below them, and others began to run behind. But some of them would be hit by the jets of water that just shot them, just maybe just as hard as our own guns. Water began to flood around and flow about the bodies. It was starting to mix with red, bloody bodies, gasping for air, with holes through their carcass. There was limbs, fingers floating all about, surrounding them. The men, the women, even the children, they were all cut down the same. And even the white ones, they laid their blood-soaked lips, begging for any help. Their blood mingled with that of the blacks, which they called brothers and sisters. Their cries mingled with theirs as well. I met the eyes of everyone I shot. I saw when my bullets penetrated them. I saw the holes that I made. I saw the blood seep through them. And I saw when they fell, and I saw the last huff of theirs, the last breath they took. I wanted to help people. I was a police officer. But that day I was a butcher. Now, my grandfather telling me this. I just a silence like I've never heard before fell upon me. The coldness of winter seemed to creep into the room with us. I didn't know what to say. I never knew any of this happened. I never thought he was capable of such carnage. And we stood there for a moment, just sort of basking in this moment. Finally, I found the strength to say something, as something definitely needed to be said, and I asked, "Grandpa, why would you tell me something like that?" Then he sort of relaxes a little, his bones start to get strength again. He looks me in the face, and he leaves this despairing state, and he just responds, "Never bet on black."
Jimmy, begin.
I'm not allowed any water, so allow me to clear my throat. Before I begin, I brought a tool here. This is my anti-heckling tool. It's also my anti-Nifty mask. Nifty, I swear to f***ing Christ, I'll teach you what Ted Bundy was inspired by. Oh no, my anti-Nifty device. No problem. Before I begin, I want you to imagine a man so retarded and so traumatized. Imagine that, if you would. A man so retarded and traumatized that he can't even fit things together chronologically. His mind scattered, his brain's turned to mush, his penis a terrific size, yet he doesn't know how to score with bitches. You don't have to imagine, that man is me. Before I also begin, I would like to do a good prayer to a silly god. This goes out to you, Tom Servo 3. Best waifu ever. Green penis. You see, Tom Servo 3 had a wonderful educational video. It was called The History of the Hiroshima Butt Plug. That 20 of them bitches were only worth 1 penny. That's a pretty replaceable rate if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, with my Anton Shugarth looks activated, I learned to make them call it. They, of course, doubted me, and they thought that they weren't going to lose much. Until I gave them a double mastectomy, machete style. And, well, I gave the flat-chested girls that were nice to me the teeth I just chopped off. Everyone was happy. Now, this is going to be really fucked up, you see. My life was cursed. Somehow throughout my life, there would be a bunch of strangers who I'd always mistake to be my substitute teachers. I'd always get taught the wrong shit in it. You see, when I was 4 years old, a nice old man approached me at preschool, and I thought, oh, this must be the substitute. And he sat me down and he showed me a fine movie. Winnie the Jew. You see, in Winnie the Jew takes all of 100 Acre Wood's money. And he keeps it all to himself and just keeps eating it. In fact, I remember a scene very specifically. Piglet went up to him and said, "Oh, Jew Bear, please. 100 Acre Woods, we have no money. We're all starving, we can't pay rent." And he said, "Shut up, Goyim. Just give me more smeckles of money." Turns out the guy's a neo-Nazi. I don't know what he found in me, but he took a liking to me and tried to convince me to come to his side. Maybe I reminded him of the fear of her. You know, brown hair and green eyes, clearly a mud of a bunch of different races. But that's not the worst of it. You see, in 2nd grade, I thought I was also talking to a substitute teacher. Some sweet little old lady. Didn't smell bad, reminded me of my grandma. She sat me down and she showed me Gilligan's asshole. It's just a gay version of Gilligan's Island. I'll never forget the theme song. Skipper wanted Gilligan's tail, his pants he dared unzip. That big fat homo was too large, he crushed little buddy's hip. Later on, that brought back a lot of trauma. You see, when my parents finally bought cable and I didn't have to watch PBS Kids anymore, they got into TV land to relive nostalgia. Anytime Gilligan's Island came on, I had to leave the room. The flashes of gay porn from that incident just raced through my mind and I couldn't handle it. You ever seen a fat homo break a twink's hip? It's not a pretty sight. In middle school, I was tasked with reading a book. Again, by someone who I thought was a teacher. I was tasked with reading The Diarrhea of Anne Frank. You see, it's about this incestuous lesbian named Anne Frank, and how she talks about how she loves to finger herself, and she wants to finger her sister and squeeze her sister's breasts. By the end of the book, she eats a batch of bad strawberries and has the worst diarrhea recorded in Nazi Germany history. And then the Nazis come up the stairs and find her. After the war was over, her father found her diary and said, Oy vey, this is the hottest smut I've ever read in my life. God damn. So he published a gorillion copies and sent them all around the world so everyone could enjoy the smut that his daughter wrote.
That's about 16 minutes. You got any bangers in there?
I got more. We ain't seen the top of it yet. I'll go fast. I'll go faster.
Give the funniest one.
Hang on. I wasn't even safe from PBS Kids. There's a show called Between the Lines, but whenever I was watching that channel, they'd show me a show called Between the Loins. I went, hey now, hey wow, check out what's between the loins. None of that shit was fucking washed. You realize how fucked up it is when you're a 5-year-old boy and you gotta worry about your dick being that fucking filthy? It was nasty. And the worst part was, when I fucking had the courage to tell my father that I wanted to be a steam engine when I grew up, he looked at me and he said, no son of mine's going to be a steam engine! And he sent me to normal school. It was really stupid and gay! And I hated it! But you know, it's all good, ladies and gentlemen, because at 3 years old, I was a big fan of Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues trained me. And it's thanks to this training in Blue's Clues.
17 minutes, Jimmy. You gotta...
This is the last one.
Right.
I'm guaranteed an audience with God to ask him one question. Because you see, in Sunday school, before they kicked me out for being a goofy kid, they had us draw these little Jesus gingerbread men. I'll never forget just drawing it down. My own little Jesus gingerbread man. Eyes, nose, mouth, buttons, and a big penis. And you see, somehow at age 3, I instinctively knew that if you were a man, having a big penis was key to your success and happiness. Jet just broke something. And that's how I know that no matter how hard I sin, God will at least allow me one question to him. I did portray his one and only son as being hung as a horse. And, well, yeah, you want me to shut up now. So.
What's the one question you would ask?
Why? But I hope that was enough.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Alright. So when I first heard about this challenge, I had no idea what I was going to talk about for a whole 10 minutes. Then I realized the most retarded schizophrenic man is in the room with us right now. Jimmy. Not only is he known for his fucking dogs, which has to have some sort of truth to it, since he even said he knows exactly who's saying those rumors and knows them personally. Also, has anyone noticed how he whistles around the house? I think it's because the closest thing you can get to a whistle in here. Also, he also somehow has to add sexual comments to everything. Did everyone forget how he leaned close to my ear and whispered how he's a little sub and wants to be dominated?
No.
He's such a sub, I feel like he would cover himself in meat and mayo and let dogs have their way with him. Then during the interview I had with him, he talked a lot about wanting to tie girls up with him and being the dominant one. Right before the smoking challenge, he literally begged me to slap him so he can get into the right mindset. I know, I get you have mommy issues, but please don't take them out on me. But I think my short time on this show, I'm slowly beginning to understand this guy. Everyone here, especially me, knows he loves to physically abuse women. Can you really blame him though? It's the only physical contact he can get, especially if they're 100 pounds lighter than him. I mean, even if there's money on the line, no girl wants to touch him. I know, my first day on the show, I interviewed him about his sex life. Something I quickly realized about this, though, is that his dick size and body count kept changing. I mean, body count-wise, though, it makes sense when half the body count is dogs. Another thing he mentioned during the interview is that women only want to have sex with him to steal money from him or use him in some sort of way, which doesn't make sense at all, because all he can talk about is how poor and sad his life is. I know, listen, I understand. Some people even say I have addictions, but the length you go to just drink is insane. I promise you, if you go 3 hours without day drinking or making prison wine in the bathroom, you will be
Prison
okay.
wine.
And last thing I'll say is, go circumflex.
I'm ready.
You go.
Okay. So, why Melinda Gates divorced with Bill Gates? because Bill Gates' dick is Microsoft. Hello, I'm Shinji. Nice to meet you. So yeah, I prepared one episode, about my story. So it's my experience. It's very long time ago. So yeah, to satisfy yourself, like where will you go? Yeah, most of Japanese people like go to the hot spring, like onsen, like public bath. Yeah, my mom like often take me to the like local onsen, local hot spring, a lot. Like when I was young. Yeah, and when you are younger than the 8 years old, like you can take your children, like I mean the other age. Yeah, you can take your daughter, like if the daughter was younger than 8 years old, and obviously also. So then, like my mom often took me to like female bathrooms. Yeah. Like until I growing up to the more than 8 years old. Then so yeah, Japanese hot spring has so many variety like calorie bath, or like carbonated bath, or like sauna also. But then there is a one like the type of the hot spring is it's the like jet air bath, like so like in the bath like there is a jet bath like it's for a massage like shoulder or like back or like whatever. But if for me like when I was young age, I didn't need any like massage. So I just enjoy the like feel like the Superman like that, because I can float because I was so light. I continue do that. I continue to do that. But one day I noticed like when you put the dick in the jet bath and take time, then you reach the very good feeling. Yeah, I reached the orgasm. I didn't know about the like masturbate or like orgasm, any stuff like nasty stuff. So I just feel good. So that timing, I was kind of addicted to the like jet bus Superman masturbate. I kept continue a lot and a lot. Like when you finish that, I went to the saunas and take a time and I go, oh my god, I want to feel more. Then I go to the jet bus and feel and came and I kept continue. I felt good. One day, like, so I pretty like amazed. Like this is amazing. Like I have to tell to my like everyone. Like then I told like my mom.
Oh no.
Like, hey mom, if you put the penis in the jet bus or airbus, like you make me feel good. That makes me feel good. Then like my mom's the facial emotion like suddenly changed. Then she said, "Stop it! Your dick fell off." Then like for me, like I was young, like maybe that timing, but I was like 7 years old. Like 7 years for that word that word is pretty tough for 7 years old. So then I pretty scared about my dick fell off. But I couldn't finish it. Like even my mom said about that thing, I kept continue. Yeah. But then yeah, I continued until like 12 years old. Then when I entered the middle school, so there is a school trip for the like rural Japanese area. Then we went to the like rural Japanese area like called Nagano. Then we stayed in the like Japanese local cottage. It's not like hotel. It's like more like personal, like individual, like hotels, like cottage. Then like the boys stay with one of the like very old house. But the problem was there is a like huge public bath there, and there's a bathtub, huge shared bathtub. Yeah, there was the like air jet bath. that moment, that like when I was 12, I still didn't know about the like, masturbate or like jerk off thing. So like I just said naturally to my like classmates, said, "Oh, if you put the dick in the jet bath, that makes me feel good." Then my friend says, "Okay, try it." Then yeah, I tried in front of the like 10 of the classmates. Like like that. I just like that. Then everyone watching like. Then like 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, 10 seconds later, I come. Actually no, maybe not so fast. Not so fast. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 minutes. Then I came. Then I get out of the bus with boner. Then everyone like watch me like, wow, like so amazed. And I squeezed my dick in front of the like 10 of the classmates. Then like the sperm like come out.
Oh my god.
Then I squeezed. Then yeah. Then that moment everyone says, "Oh my god, what is that? It's amazing!" Like because no one knows the jerk off like cum or everything. Yeah, that was my first experience of the like public jerk off. That's all. Thank you.